My name is Jay Reckenwald, and I'm here with the authors of Signs of Spirit, Larry and Debra Redalia. So, can you tell us a little bit about the book?
This book, Signs of Spirit, is a collection of 100 amazing true stories about being spirit, written by 32 different authors. And we'd like to give you just a little sample of what we're talking about when we say that it's a story about being a spirit.
Great.
From a spirit viewpoint.
Fantastic.
And we're going to read a poem that Larry and I wrote.
Great.
Actually, while we were on a trip driving down the freeway having nothing else to do.
The poem's called Spirit Being. I know that I am not my hair.
Because when I cut it, I'm still there.
I know that I am not my name.
Because if I change it, I'm still the same.
I know that I am not my ear.
Because if I pierce it, I'm still here.
I know that I am not my knee.
Because if I scrape it, I'm still me.
I know that I am not my eyes.
Because when I close them, I'm still wise.
I know that I am not my thought.
Because I'm still me if I think or not.
I'm a spirit being, I tell you true.
I am a spirit being, and so are you.
Wow. I like that. I think I've heard that once before, and it sounded just as good the second time as it did the first.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, all the stories in the book are written from the viewpoint that we're spiritual beings who have minds and bodies, instead of the way we usually think of it in this culture as we're bodies and our spirit is inside somewhere. What our reality is and our experience is that we are spiritual beings that have minds and have bodies, and that gives you a whole different view of the world.
Great, great. How has writing this book and reading this book helped change your lives?
Well, last night, for instance, I was kind of feeling down. We'd gotten into some arguments with people, and I just grabbed up this book and started reading it. And I thought, this is better. This is what I want. More spirit orientation. I came up considerably and felt a whole lot better after just reading 4 or 5 stories.
Wow.
It really is a reminder, not just for other people, but for myself. It acknowledges me as a spiritual being. When I write that I made an intention and something miraculous occurred, then that reinforces it in me that I have that power. And then when I forget, I can go back and read my stories and say, well, look, you did this before, you can do it again. This is what the reality is. And when I read other people's stories about things that they have the ability to do now that I don't yet have the ability to do, it shows me where I can go, what my possibilities are.
Wonderful. It sounds like something that we can all relate to. And by reading this, we can find the inspiration in ourselves.
Well, we all are spirits. And so when people communicate about being a spirit and say, yes, I'm a spirit and this is what I can do, it resonates with the spirit that each of us are, whether we're aware that we're spirits or not. The reason that we call it Signs of Spirit is because everybody is actually being a spirit all the time, whether they know it or not.
Got it.
And that we're looking for spirit in other places instead of knowing that's what we are. And so Signs of Spirit came from the realization that I had that I can look around and see people acting as spirits, being the spirits they are, even though they don't see it. And so to me, when I see somebody being loving, I know that love is a spirit thing. And then I can say, well, this person's being a spirit. There's a sign of spirit that someone's being loving, or somebody's being kind, or somebody's being creative. All of those are signs of spirits. And what I want is I want the world to be a place where everybody recognizes spirit in each other and encourages and acknowledges spirit in each other.
Wow.
And that's really the goal of this project.
Very good. You all have been together for 22 years?
Yes.
Yes.
So how has acknowledging each other's spirit helped you all stay together this long?
Larry?
Well, one of the ways, about 12 years ago, actually, we got a divorce. Things had gotten bad. They'd gotten stuck. We couldn't seem to get out of the thing we're in, and we got a divorce. And it was like, well, okay, so now what do we do? And instead of taking the typical route and getting lawyers and fighting and hating each other thereafter, we took a course of, well, I told Debra, yeah, we can get a divorce if after we work this out, we can get back together.
Great.
And I said, ha, thinking that would never happen. But another thing that he said was, every good thing that we've ever had is still there. It's just covered up with all this garbage. And we set about remembering the good in each other and the good of us being together. And that's coming back to the spiritual part, our spiritual nature, and saying, all right, let's just build on that. Let's just acknowledge each other as loving spirits who want to be together to co-create a life together. And we just started doing that, and we just created a whole new relationship based on being spirits instead of all the ideas about what love and marriage is in our culture.
Wow. So reading this book could even help you in your relationships.
Reading this book can help you in every aspect of life, because at the core of everything we do is spirit. And if we do things in a harmonious, creative way, as the spiritual beings we are, that's our natural state, is all this positiveness. If we do that, then everything comes out good. To me, knowing and becoming aware as a spirit and acting as a spirit is the solution to all problems.
Wow.
It's a very simple solution to all problems. I can see underlying all problems in the world, personally or culturally, is not being aware that one is a spirit, not being aware that one can create one's own life the way you want it to be.
Wow. So by acknowledging you are a spirit, by acknowledging other spirits, we could have a better world today.
Yes, we can.
Very good.
In fact, we do.
Yeah.
We do in our world.
We just want to share it with others.
And we spend a lot of time, and most of everything that we do is about creating our lives to be better and the lives of everybody around us and throughout the world. And we can have the world that we want. We just need to be able to imagine it and do the things that it takes to create it. We have that power, every single one of us. We don't need to have poverty. We don't need to have war. We can have whatever it is we imagine.
Wow. So no matter what position you're in life, whether you're up, down, whether you're having money problems, relationship problems, Signs of Spirit.
This book is full of stories of people being in desperate situations. I mean, not all of them are that way, but there's many stories of people not having money, not having a place to live, whatever, and that they use their spiritual abilities to create what it was that they wanted, and things often turn out even better than you can imagine.
Wow.
And it just inspires me to read these stories. It inspires me to write them and to read them and to see that we're not the only ones, that there are people all around the world who are using these methods, but we just don't know it as a society at large. We think that we have to solve things by physical world methods, but really everything starts on the spiritual level.
Yeah, I realize I've been saying wow a lot in this interview because I'm really enlightened by a lot of the things you're saying. Overall, it's whether you're aware of the spirituality or not, it's entertainment-wise. Could you just read it for entertainment?
You totally could read it for entertainment. In fact, we envision the title as Amazing True Stories About Being a Spirit, like a movie marquee, you know, like some adventures. It's like an adventure movie. That's what the title is to me, because it is so amazing, and it is something that is within the reach of everyone. It's just knowing that it's there and reaching for it.
That's amazing. Well, is there any other, last remarks that you guys would like to have as we wrap up?
I'd just like to say again that all these things are possible. Anything that we want is possible when we create it as spiritual beings. And to me, the biggest problem in the world today is just that we don't know what we are. We think we're bodies and we're actually spirits, and that's what we want the world to know. Larry, do you want to say something?
I totally agree.